the best music that anyone ever makes is when they enjoy themselves. Hello, my name is Johanna Engman. I'm 19 years old. I'm a vocal music education major here at BSU, and I'm from both Washington State and Washington, D.C. About as far back as I can remember, I've always felt really connected to music. When I started doing choir, there's this moment, often comes towards the end, where the whole choir is singing the same note and we're all really stable on the note and all the harmonies click together perfectly, and it just feels, for me, like I'm connected to everyone else in the choir. Like we understand each other in a way that I don't know I've felt in any other time or place. Hitting the note and feeling stable on the note, especially the high notes for me as a soprano, it feels like floating, like flying. I listen to a lot of vocal classical music for obvious reasons, and Joe Hisaishi is definitely my top favorite right now. He scored a lot of the Studio Ghibli films for Hayao Miyazaki. And then I really like Florence Price and Tchaikovsky and Gabriel Fauré. It doesn't have to be your favorite, because some people don't like classical music, and that is okay. But also, if you're, just approach it with curiosity. Explore the parts that you like about it, and there's so many rabbit holes you can go down with anything, but with classical music you may discover something that you weren't expecting. I started dancing when I was very young, and I think that's when I started to love music and classical music. And I started to love vocal music when my dad and I would go hiking in Mount Rainier, and he'd play the hits radio. And we were in the car for a long time, so sometimes we'd hear the same song like 10 times. And I had a lot of fun experimenting with singing along to them and singing it differently. I think that's when I started to know I wanted to be a singer. I've had a lot of really wonderful teachers who were women who didn't make themselves smaller in order to fit into any sort of space that they'd been given. So I've always felt represented in that way with my teachers. There's still a lot of work to be done in terms of sort of digging up and popularizing the work of women composers. That's one of the things in classical music, is there's a lot of merit to having the continuity, but then also when it happens over so long of a time, so many things go into what gets performed when. Like now there's a lot of conscious thought around diversity in music, but however many years ago, it wasn't. So there are really wonderful, genius composers whose work was just never recognized, and you really have to go digging for it. I would love to do more work by women composers, and I'm probably gonna have to work a little bit to find those. I loved the Nutcracker growing up, the music from the Nutcracker, and as I listened to it more, once I'd gotten some ear training and was listening for themes and things, I was like, he's a genius. And I never realized that before. Come to our concerts.